Is another day, another Friday, another day to have something very, very sweet, another day to have something very, very uh, good to drink. As usual, everyone, where are we? Where are you, everyone? Come, let us have a communion. Let us talk to one another. Mm. Let us talk to one another, people. Let's have something. So, Maz is okay here. It is another weekend, and this is my hangout. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. This evening, let's make this conversation as interactive as we can. If we may, let's make this conversation as interactive as we can. I will start by saying, let me know where you are watching me from. As usual, we want to acknowledge everyone watching us from every part of the world. It gives us solace to know that we have people watching from every part of the world. May I know which part of the world you are watching me from? May I know which part of the world you are watching me from? So I can see a lot of people. Wow, wow, people, can we like, share this stream? Can we like and share? Can we like and share? Share, share, share. Okay, so we are here now. Chuku Chinedu says rooting for, is watching from Dubai. Now, let us, I want to break the ice. I want to break the ice. We have men like Dave Umahi, Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, Osinbajo, Moghalu, Kwankwaso, so many people wanting to become the president of Nigeria. The question that I want to address this evening is I am very, very much aware that many of us says they don't want to vote or they don't want to go be part of the next election. I mean, that's as someone who demands respect from every other person, I respect that opinion. You have a very valid reason not to. Is that a strategic one? It remains to be seen. Question this evening is, we can have an open conversation and convince yourself, or you convince me, why either we should discard the next election or make conditions for the next election. If we must vote in the next election, who can we vote for? Do we need to, look at these people individually? Now, to do that this evening, I want to use the aid of the Arise TV crew, Ruben Abati and Co. I call them the Four Gang. Let's bring them in and hear what they said. Some of you called me yesterday saying, Mazi, we thought that Peter Obi is running. No, that was the day before yesterday. But why is it that he's endorsing? No, not endorsing. Why is it that he attended Atiku Abubakar's declaration? To me, the way I think, I said, why not? But you may disagree with me, thinking, well, if he's your political opponent, he becomes your enemy. You might be right. You might be wrong. I don't know. But let's have that conversation. But luckily, that same day, he came out and you heard it from the horse's mouth. He said himself what he thinks. So let's bring the Arise crew. Let's bring them in and let's hear what Peter Obi said to them. We will analyze more with others as well.
2023 general election. Well, the former governor made the declaration on Thursday at a meeting with traditional rulers in Oka, the Anambra capital. Well, according to him, if given the opportunity to unite Nigeria and ensure steady inflow of investment into the country. Well, Peter Obi was a running mate to Atiku Abubakar in the 2019 presidential elections, attended Atiku's declaration event on Wednesday. To the surprise of many Nigerians who had been speculating Here's what he had to say about his intent. Declaration.
As you know, I play politics differently. For me, politics is not a war, it's a relationship. And Atiku is my leader, he was my boss, and a senior brother. If he invites me for anything, I'll attend. Aspiring does not say I should not keep my relationship that is very cordial and everything. I'm aspiring. But remember, I always say, Atiku is a unifier. He believes in Nigeria. He's a good man. And every time he invites me for anything, I'll be there. That notwithstanding, I'm aspiring. I want to serve Nigeria.
I think he's...
So, did you hear that? At this point, he said that he is also aspiring, but when Atiku invites him for something, he will go. He didn't, in any way, shape, or form, run away from the fact that he's got some relationship with Atiku. And he said, you had him there. If he invites him, he will go. What do you think? Do you think that that is a very good strategy to be invited by someone you will be contesting against and you have the honor to go and attend? Some of you may disagree. Some of you that play politics Nigeriana will say, no. If you invite him, that means he's my enemy. I won't go. But let's hear what the Arise crew has to say.
A great man, Tundu Abiola. I wish him luck.
Right. I think that the fact that he went to former Vice President Alhaji Atiku's declaration is really important. And it shows, before anybody could start to speculate that there's any kind of rift between them, it shows quite clearly that there isn't. And I think it's just a case of may the best man win. We don't have to have this politics of division and bitterness. But more important than that is what he has to offer Nigerians, which I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more. What he's talked about is about lifting the out of poverty. We are in economic dire straits. That is what interests me right now, more than any other thing.
I love that sound, but it was important to highlight.
I agree with you that Mr. Peter, the former governor of Anambra State, is trying to send a message across that politics has to be about loyalty first and foremost. He made the point that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is his boss or was his boss, his senior. You'll recall that in 2019, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, at the time, when many major political figures in the East were opposed to Peter Obi being chosen as a running mate on the platform of the PDP, candidate of the party, former VP Atiku Abubakar, chose him. Yes, they didn't win at the end of the day, but they had an impressive outing of over 10 million votes in that presidential election. So he went there, to support his former boss, but then he left the place and went on to also declare. And I hope that people will take that message about loyalty.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that the two of them are running together. Let them go to the primaries together. Let the people of Nigeria decide. That's one major take from there. Two, in declaring, he went to Oka, he declared in Oka.
Greg Secker here. Well, look, if you're
so again, like these guys are trying to say, he went to Oka, he declared in Oka,
like other social media channels, YouTube's not verified.
You can basically hear that charity, they say, begins at home, because not many people would agree, and some are saying, well, what it means. Why must he declare in his own state? I say, why not? Would he declare in your bedroom? Recall, we have many of them when they want to declare, some who are grounded with their people, they want to show that they are coming from somewhere. Because at the end of the day, if your people does not believe in you, then you're not making much headway. We have seen many people, recall that not many of you knew that Dele Momodu is from Edo State. Many thought that Dele Momodu is Yoruba. But the moment he wanted to declare for presidency, he went home. He went to his people and he declared from home. He went to see the governor, that is Governor Obaseki, And after seeing Governor Baseki, he went to see the Oba of Benin. And he got their blessings. Question then is, this man is now saying he wants to govern Nigeria, and he is putting himself forward. Many have argued, should Ndibo put their best foot out, or should Ndibo allow their best foot to stay behind, and once they get a nation of their own, if, with a big question mark, as the Germans will say, große, question mark, Fragezeichen, whether that is possible. Well, you see, and we saw a written stuff today where Tinubu suddenly, because Peter Obi declared, came out to say he will beat any southeasterner that is going to come out for 2023. I say, well, you can beat anybody, but beat your pants first, or I'll say beat your pampers first. So if you're able to beat your bladder, beat your pampers, then you can beat the others. But you know what I mean? Isn't that how do I know? Okay, isn't that funny that Nigeria will be a nation that will keep on voting incompetent people? Look at Buhari, look at Osinbajo. Osinbajo, would have done much better than Buhari, but here we are. Osinbajo is not the president, but Buhari is. Eriko said he's watching from Germany, Deutschland. Hier, grüß dich. Wo bist du denn eigentlich in Deutschland? Ich aber hier. Okay, so if you look at that, I want us to have this conversation together between Governor David Mweze Omahe and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the bullion van, Osinbajo, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, Alhaji Kwankwaso, Bukola Saraki. Amongst all these men, who would you vote for 2023 presidential election if election holds in 2023? Do you believe that election will not hold in 2023? If you do believe that election will not hold in 2023, why do you believe that election will not hold in 2023? We'll say you have the opportunity to ring and tell us why. The number to call is on the telephone. Let us have this conversation together. It's +234 708 002 004 2206. Let's hear from you. Do you think Mr. Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, or Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of this federation, or Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban, and the election bullion van, do you think he would be contesting or he would win the next election? Who among these men do you think when he wins, we're not going to be paying for presidential hospital in London? We're not going to be importing some stuff that old people wear in the presidential wing of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We do have an erudite professor, a man I have so much respect, immense respect for, a man who is so clued on in the person of Professor Kingsley Moghalu, Ifeke Egonnewi, a man I've met multiple times. I've spoken to him multiple times. Whenever I do, I ask myself, why do surviving people allow men like this to, not to put their brain at work? Or do you think that someone like Dr. Bukola Saraki, that he's going to make it and he's going to be the next president of Nigeria. If you come to the folks of the APC, we have men like Dr. Chris Nwabweze Ngige, Dr. Ogbonnayonu, Rotimi Amechi, the pot-bellied ex-governor and the Minister of Transportation, the Minister of Transportation that builds railway across Nigeria, but his own people within the South or the old Eastern region, he could not build not even 1 kilometer of rail. And 7 years down the line, all we hear is railway to Niger Republic, railway to this, railway to the other one, but his own people from Port Harcourt, Umuahia, into Enugu, Makurdi, getting to, all this, we have not seen anything from him. It is deeply, deeply troubling, some people would say. It is indeed deeply, deeply troubling. Who amongst these men would you vote for? While we wait for your calls, let's go back again and look at the conversation by the Arise team. I found this conversation, the analysis very, very interesting when they started analyzing the meaning of what Mr. Peter Obi said. Let's get that ball rolling once more.
Indicated that charity begins at home. Yes, he may not have the opportunity to go to the presidential villa to go and declare and address the press corps at the presidential villa, as some people have done, because he's not a member of the APC. But he indicated that charity begins at home. 3, Peter Obi, in declaring interest in the presidency, is not using proxies. And this was the point we made just now, when we had a gentleman called Emeka Ugu, who came to speak on behalf of, or is it Emeka Chuku, who came to speak on behalf of the Amechi Mandate project. And we said, are you speaking for Rotimi Amechi, or you are speaking as all these Bele-Face Front proxy groups? And he said, he clarified it at the end of the day, that he was speaking on behalf of Amechi. But this is Peter Obi speaking with his own mouth.
Yes.
To say, I want to be president of Nigeria. And we keep making the point. If you want to be president of Nigeria, we don't want to hear that some people are pushing you. Be courageous enough to say, this is what I want. 4, I think this is the fourth point. Peter Obi is running on the basis of his own record. He said, I did it in Anambra. I want to do it in Nigeria. So it's for those who are interested in his candidacy to check what he did in Anambra. And whatever he did in Anambra is in the public domain. And he's one of those first few persons who are talking about an agenda. In declaring, he stated his agenda.
Yes, he did.
I want to create jobs. I want to turn Nigeria around. I want to move Nigeria from the point where it is to another point. I want to manage resources very well. Okay? From even his declaration, you can have key bullet points about what he wants to do. What is not clear is whether he's going to remain in the PDP, where zoning is open, or maybe he will go to another platform. That for me is the only part of it that is remaining. But it's within his constitutional right to say that he wants to run as president of Nigeria. And as it is, more and more people are showing up within the public space. But as I keep saying on this program, we should engage them at the level of ideas. What are they going to do about capital importation dropping? What are they going to do about the mess in the foreign exchange regime in Nigeria? What are they going to do about the problem with food supply in Nigeria? Okay, let nobody just come around and wear fanciful clothes and say, I look handsome enough to be president. No, we are not interested in people's looks or their weight. Because one man yesterday was saying, I've added weight, I look handsome. No, that's not the kind of message that we want to hear. We want serious-minded people who are engaging us at the level of serious proposals.
I think more importantly, people should go out and vote. Before I take your comment, Rufai, in another development, The Independent National Electoral Commission on Thursday raised the alarm that there are over 1 million permanent voter cards printed before the 2019 elections that are yet to be collected in Lagos State, for the INEC resident electoral commissioner, Olusegun Agbaje, who made the announcement.
So people, you can see that now. You can see that now. As I said, you can see that. You can see that the things we talk about, you see that people are talking by proxy. I think there are some people who want to contest for these things. They don't want to come out to do, to do the needful. But this evening, we want to know who, if we are to cast our election, to cast our votes today. Some of us don't even have PVC. Some of us have converted, have gone to the Mama Nkechi, where they sell Ekusima. I hope you know what Ekusima is. Ekusima, in the language of those who are not initiated, it is 404. I hope you know what 404 means. If you don't get it, you forget about it. You know what 404 means? The 404 meat. So those who enjoy Ekusima, some of them want to go by proxy. They will be going like this, lungu, not straight. But on a serious note, do you think, for 1 second, that Atiku, someone has always said, oh, are you sure that Mr. Peter B is contesting? He is going to be going for VP. I say, well, will it hurt if an Atiku becomes a vice presidential candidate to Mr. Peter B? Would it hurt if an Atiku becomes vice presidential candidate to Anyim Payosanyo? Or would it hurt if a Kwankwaso becomes a vice presidential candidate to a Kingsley Moghalu? Have you ever thought about that? Why must it be the other way around all the time? In Animal Farm, they say all men are equal, but some are more equal than the other. But I think it is time that Nigerians must wake up to say, nope, you are not more equal than the other. We are all equal, and if we must coexist together, then let that equality play its own role. Without it, nah, you're not going to have it. What do you think, people? What do you think? Hakim, let me take some of your comments. Hakim says, one of the reasons why I go home is due to your consistency. I will support Obi, not Delu. I don't care if he is from Edo. Oh, Dele, I believe you mean. I am Edo, but I'm not supporting. It's fine. It's a choice. If you want to vote for Dele Momodu, this is also fine. It's but where and how can the people make their choices? In making these choices, a very critical question is, do you have your PVC? Have you converted your PVC to offensala? Have you converted your PVC to like a cup of tea? No. Me, I have my cup of tea. But it's not tea that is inside. Something that is very whitish and can make you go like this if you take it too much. Something that when Jesus Christ came to this world, in all the miracle he can do, something that he eventually, the first miracle that he did. Some of you will say, quote it in the Bible. I will tell you. Genesis chapter 1. Chapter 5. You will see what I'm talking about. Hakim, Agbonalo. No, onye name, I don't do. Apologies for the typo. No worries. Why is it difficult to register as a member of a political party for those in diaspora? One cannot find APCA website, for instance. You see, I haven't tried, I don't know, but you can actually make it a point. If APCA is not able to do something different, then why not? Why are they talking about is this and the other one, right? So maybe it's one of those things you can raise with the after. If you're in the UK, maybe I think they have an APCA office somewhere. I don't know, in London. Onyanimo is in London, so you will know. If you're in Germany, I think they have one in Hamburg. I mean, I know about that one. In you know, you could get involved and you do your bit. But at the end of the day, this Ninth Assembly has failed the diasporans by not giving them the diaspora voting. I was told that the reason why they couldn't give you diaspora voting is because if they do, a lot of people would vote from Niger, from Sudan, from some peripheral nations around Nigeria, that the results that will come out there will shock the world. But many of you in Europe and America only think you are the only diasporas. You don't know that if you are 20 in your diaspora, that the other diaspora without border can be 200. So does the argument cut it? To me personally, no. Because to me, there are options. We can use blockchain technology to pioneer and to conduct the election. To me, there are other ways you can do multi-factor authentication, even if it's triple authentication, that must authenticate your BVN, authenticate your national ID, and authenticate maybe your face. So if you have a BVN, you have a national ID, and you have your face, your fingerprint, I think that should be fair enough. That should be fair enough to cast your vote. I find it very, very disturbing and really disgraceful that those of you in the diaspora working your backside off, making the money, sending it to Nigeria for Nigeria to have something. Your money is good, your dollar, your pounds, your euro, your crony, they are all good in sending to people in Nigeria and in sending to Nigeria as direct foreign investment. But your vote, your voice is of no use. You know, most times you know that your voice actually irritates them by their actions, by their reactions. Your voice irritates them. Isn't that a tragedy? Among these men, who would you vote for and why? Let's get the ball rolling, people. Who would you vote for and why would you vote for that person? Let's analyze each and every one of those individuals. Who do we start with? Let's start with Chief Dr. Dele Momodu, the array of, is it Egbeland? He's an erudite person, a publisher of Ovation magazine and CEO of Ovation International. He is a man of a high intellect. He is a man who understands fairness, I do believe. And he is contesting. Some of you, and the question I did ask him when I had a one-on-one with him is, if he believes in fairness, and the president comes to South, the Southeast amongst all other regions haven't had a president, would he not be rooting to have a Southeasterner as a president? The answers are still here on YouTube. Do we talk about Atiku Abubakar? Atiku Abubakar from Adamawa State. I've forgotten his couple of wives. One of them Igbo, but I think they are now having some little rough fight. He runs, or rather, he is the CEO of Intel, a company that deals with the One Wharf in Port Harcourt. Atiku Abubakar. One could argue, and some could argue, that he is a detribalized Nigerian. While some will say, well, no matter how you paint it, he remains, and he is, a proud Fulani man from Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria. Recall that in 1998-99, he won the governorship candidate. He won the governorship election of Adamawa State in 1999 and was elected governor of Adamawa State. But Chief Olusegun Obasanjo took him, or rather, appointed him as his vice president. Recall, he has won the election before he was eventually invited. Fast forward. He, as Peter Obi said, is a bridge builder. Do you believe that? Second Niger Bridge or Morocco Bridge? I don't know. But let's leave him on the side. Eventually make your choice. Here we have the Babariga, the Ogidigbo of Yoruba land. Some people say the Puhi and the Puha and the Pumumu of Yoruba land. The push me, I push you. The Ogapatakpata of all the Agberos. The gentle and eye-popping, Awolowo eyeglass wearing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A man who many say his tentacles spreads only maybe within the Southwest. It's a debate to be had. I have never, aside election time, seen him anywhere within the Southeast or the South-South. I'm making a factual statement, not otherwise. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State between the year 1999 and 2017. That is what we all know. He was bold. He tried something. He was the first person, if you recall, I cannot forget, in 1999, while still working with Nigerian Television Authority as of that time, I recall every time we go past towards Akbagbon, we will see this power station being built at that point by an American company called Emron. I cannot forget that blue. You see them white people working on these gigantic projects. So I think someone is spamming the chat section. Sorry, this person will be blocked from this stream, and you will never, ever, because it's to please any link shared on that, on the comment section, do not touch it. Do not click on it. If you do, I can bet you ₦1 that you are likely to lose 99.9% of your money. Please, I beg you, the individual has been blocked, and that's, sorry about that. Now, have we finished Bola Ahmed Tinubu? He was bold, a very ambitious man, and many also argue that he has been the one visible governor that has so many people he has mentored. Some will say, mentored in what way? Irrespective of how you view him, hate or like him, Bola Tinubu is a talent hunter. He has look around the Yoruba nation, almost all the governors, almost all the people in the House of Assembly. But many could also argue that he is a very ambitious person, or rather that the family is over ambitious. The wife, a sitting senator, himself, as he calls himself, the national leader of progressive confidence. And there is the rumor that his son would likely become the governor of Lagos State. And his daughter is known as the Iyaloja of the Lagos markets. So, means that is a business family that does and knows nothing else than using governance as a means of Bachapium. Who else? We come to Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Irrespective of what many of you will say, oh, why is he keeping quiet under Buhari's government? Well, he's a VP. There is nothing he can do. Why hasn't he resigned? They're easy to resign like that because that's a joint ticket. You think front, you think back. But I give it to him. He's a man of immense, intellectual capacity. He's one of those that I must confess publicly that I do admire. His oratory powers is none next to impeccability. The man is very, very sound upstairs that sometimes I ask myself, why is he not the president? Like I keep telling us here, from the smell of the fat, you will have an idea how the real deal will taste. Recall when Buhari was sick in a hospital in London, and Nigerians had to park the presidential jet, paying for parking slots. Why? No one knew how long the president was going to be in London, and Nigerians were paying through their nose taxpayers' money, being thrown out of the window. Anyhow, as they say in Nigeria. But in all this, recall when DSS invaded the National Assembly under the leadership of Dr. Bukola Saraki. He acted as a president. That was the only time I took notice of him, because at some point I've given up of all of them. Just bring dustbin, put all of them straight and probably throw them somewhere. But the moment he did that, and I was like, whoa, so you can actually do that? Sack Daura, the head of DSS, for invading another arm of government. I thought, whoa, so something like this could actually happen. Someone could actually sit up. And since then, when some of you criticize and say, we don't know why he's not saying or making any comment on some issues, national issues, bear in mind, they are giving him a close marking, because if you give him nose, he will insert some snuff in there. Buhari came back. The rest is history. As we all know, we also know what happened to the grass cutter of invasive species. Something don't happen for this country. Yet all these things are happening under a government that fights corruption, that wakes up every day and tell you that they're going to fight corruption. I read one news article this evening. I don't know if I was to cry or curse them out or even slap them. The headline alone will want to make you to go back to sleep if you just woke up from one. And I read the headline to us. It says, I will kill corruption in Nigeria before I leave office, Buhari. He will kill corruption. 7 years. He has not made a single dent a single dent on corruption, single, if we had before. Now, under him as Minister of Petroleum, oil theft has gone to a level never seen before. You look at what Tony Elumelu said. Even the Minister of State for Petroleum, the guy from the former governor, not Dixon, the former governor of Bayelsa State, you begin to wonder what manner of bunch of cucumbers and carrots run this show. How come that these things are happening and people will tell you that they are fighting corruption, they are not corrupt? If you're fighting corruption and you're not corrupt, and corruption is growing everywhere, you are either corrupt or you are giving the corruption fertilizer. For 7 years, our national budget has been padded. Let's agree that PDP are a bunch of thieves, but yet we have a bunch of cents in the last 7 years. Every year, the budget will be padded. Next year, they will not only pad it, they will wear pampers on top of it. So at some point, you go to drip. If they sit down, we go see mark. It keeps happening. Yet, someone is sitting down somewhere saying we are fighting corruption. The next person, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, former CBN deputy governor, an erudite man, a man that I tell you that you would wish that he is the president of a nation that you will be proud to call yours. Very, very intelligent. Very, when I say intelligent, because I have interacted with him on a close proximity. Very, very intelligent. Also very, very principled. But you know, in Nigeria, they know they give power to who know book or to who know things. Power must be given to Mumu so that those in the authority can always control them. He worked in the United Nations. He has worked in the private sector. He's a good speaker. He does a lot of things. A lot of things goes for him. Is it Kwankwaso? We know him. He has become a serial contender of the presidency. Even when it's 40 million, sometimes I say, well, now they see this money now. Make una give only 40 una go give me. You go do. At least you go buy me one innocent. Because now innocent don't they hungry me. You know, if anybody if you want to bless me with innocent, bless me now. And I say who no talk. Now I don't talk, I'm waiting the hungry me. So if you want bless me with innocent, bring it on. Okay? So now our own. So Kwankwaso, a serial contender, and he will buy the ticket. I haven't seen a lot of people. They have with Buba Galadima, they have formed a new party called NNPP. They've gone out of PDP. He's one of those I can fondly and boldly call a jumpologist. Someone who jumps from one political to another. Coinage mind. Responsibility mind. So do not hold anybody responsible on that. Hold me responsible. He's a jumpologist. If you jump from one party to the other party to the other party, you are nothing but a jumpologist. Who is the next person? Alhaji Dr. Bukura Saraki, two-time governor of Kwara State, until the people of Kwara say, oh, there you go, they saw oversized coat to give him, they push him out. The people of Kwara did what, disgraced him the way he ganged up with Rotimi Amechi and ganged up against Goodluck Jonathan. APC wouldn't have been in power if not for those who moved away, what they call the NPDP, who eventually went in and brought in the cash. People like Rotimi Amechi. In the next couple of hours, it's now 10:48. In the next couple of hours, the APC convention will start in earnest. Suddenly, Amechi has been disqualified. Dr. Chris Ngige has been disqualified. A couple of others, those that serve the president as ministers, has all been disqualified. They cannot vote, neither will they be voted for. Wahala be like waiting again as they talk for Nigerian street parlance. It be like a bicycle seat. Sometimes when you ride too much for bicycle seat, you go take some part of technique, put them for the other one, bend the other one, and that time God will betide the person coming before you that you ate beans, and when you'll be releasing the gas. It's Friday Hangout, well, people. You're onto Njenje Media TV, and my name is Thomas. Okay, Friday Hangout, we make it fun. We just, interact with one another. So I've done Kingsley Moghalu, Kwankwaso, Osinbajo, Professor. I like him so much, I must say. I like him. Osinbajo. Public confession, Saraki. But let's come down to the Southeast for those of us that make the argument that president must come south, and when it comes to south, it comes southeast. There is a clear difference between southeast, or rather, Nigerian president of southeast extraction as Nigerian president of Igbo extraction. I'll explain. Southeast means it must be from the 5 southeastern states. Igbo means it could be from the Delta, it could be from Benue, it could be from rivers, it could be from cross rivers, it could be from Edo, because these are where you have Igbo residing in them. Kogi as well. We have many people. Not many of you are aware that Professor Pat Odinaka Chukwu Utomi is also from the Igbo extraction, but in Delta State. The governor, Okenwa, some say Okewa, is also from the south, or rather from the Igbo extraction. Former governor of Rivers State, Peter Odilichukwu, is also from Igbo extraction. The one who told you, in the person of Rotimi Amechi, that he is Igbo, and proudly so speaks Igbo more than many of you watching me now, is also Igbo extraction. Another one says it's not Igbo. You know me, I know the quick warrior. You know be Igbo. Of course, I respect you, are not Igbo. But some who want to make trouble say he is Igbo. His name is Nwaike. He said, no, I'm not Wike. I'm Yesom. Wike, stop calling me Nwike. I say, Ekbelesa, don't be offended. I am not here to drag you. You are Yesom Wike, and you are not Igbo. How many? So you see how Igbos are scattered all over. But we have eminent men, women who are extremely qualified. Did we talk about Anyim Pius Anyim, the former secretary to the federal government, or rather the Senator Pius Anyim Pius Anyim? He was the Senate president and he was the secretary to the federal government of Nigeria from Ebonyi State. Or do you talk about the Ebonyi State governor? Hate him or like him? I repeat, hate him or like him. The man is a magician. Ebonyi State is the state that received the least with Yobe Yobe, the least in federal government revenue allocation. But what he does with that money and the quality of the things he does in Ebonyi, my own is seeing is believing. I walk around, I drive around Southeast. And the day I got into Ebonyi, at night, I couldn't believe myself. I've been going to Ebonyi because when my dad was alive, most of the boy we had came from Ebonyi, from Abakaliki, from Ikwo, some from Eza, from Izi, So that's how, if many of you who say, Maz, we never knew you speak Abakaliki, that's how, I came to learn. Because when we used to live in the Face Me and Face You, we had Afibo, we had Afibo tenants, we have what's it called again? Abakaliki. Now Abakaliki, you make your choice. You have Z, Kwo, blah blah blah. So if I'm Lebe tamlo enwan So are we talking about Stephen Mahi, a man who has transformed his state from the mega little he has? You might have other issues with him, but boy, when it comes to projects, I can comfortably tell you he's Mr. Project. There are people, their state, they say they are called children of God. What's it called? Those people there, where you have a failure, 3 governors, failure, successive failure. You know that state, God's own state. 3 successive failure. They think they have a failure here. Another governor comes, he benches here. Another one comes, he benches here. Is it like, they compete with failure? But we hope Magandibo coming to 2023 probably will rescue them, because Abia is here. The water is gone by, is gone down the waist. The water is now touching the bottom of the breast. The next thing, the water is going to be here, and Abia will be totally kaput. What am I saying? If you go to Ebonyi and see what this man is doing. But sadly, when you move from fatty to fatty, they say monkey they jump. Now because 3 near. If the 3 day wide, monkey no fit jump too far. These are men who are capable of becoming president. There are also people like Rotimi Amechi, as I've said, whom my sources tell me that the APC prefer to become the next president. The next one is Godwin Emefiele, the CBN governor. The day I heard that one, I said, now, wow, kilo happen. That one too want to be president. That means our dollar would then confuse. Many of you in America, you better don't come back, because you can send $1. It will be $1 would equal maybe 55,000 naira. That's what we are headed to. No longer 550, but 55,000 if he becomes president. What has he done in the last 8 years or thereabout? If you ask me, who I go ask, I don't know what in India. If you ask me, who I go ask, I don't know what in India. Some of you are saying, what of Sowore, Mr. Take It Back? If we elect Sowore president, I'll vote him. Everybody will run. When I say everybody, one good thing about him, if you elect Sowore president, he will do like Soludo. The day you swear him in, he will be removing his tie from the swearing-in ceremony, and he will be headed to DSS office. He will use his hand, open the DSS there, tell everybody go home. And he will go and hug Nnamdi Kanu and say, come, I'll make you Minister of Interior. He will remove the Igbo, he will, now he will drive himself, go, what's they call him? Benin Republic. Say, Igbo, oh yeah, enter my car, let's go back to Nigeria. You know, head or tail, he would definitely do some radical changes. Question is, like Thomas Sankara, many people who engage in such radical changes, you know, that those who believe in the status quo normally not happy with them. In all this, I haven't spoken really about the governor of Anambra State. The former governor of Anambra State, in the person of Mr. Peter Obi, a man who saved over, as my analysis the other day showed, 27 as of March the 17th, 2014, $156 million. Then I have read many of you saying, no, he saved money. Another person came and invested the money. I say, our low donors don't reach like this. The money were not just in savings or just left. The money were invested in high interest yielding funds. Some in bonds as high as 12% per year. That's 1% a month. Some in dollar yielding investment. That even if you're not putting any money to it, by the time you get to certain, by now, our money will be looking to have doubled itself. But sadly, it appears these monies has been sold off, and we now have, after selling them all, we now have only 300 million and 109 billion debt. Not saying that debt is not good. It depends on what you invested the money in. Are they invested in things that can yield returns? Many of you who live in the diaspora know that maybe the house you live in is $2 million house or $2 million house. It doesn't mean that you have the money. Maybe you deposited only 10%, and they give you have 30, 25, 30 years, depending on how old you are, to pay. You live in England, your property might be worth 250, 350, 400. You pay 20 years, 25, 29, depending on how young you are when you took that. But you have to pay. So to owe money is not the issue, but not to pay and pay back. We've been borrowing like people, like a nation rank, land crashing tomorrow morning. That's what we've been doing the last couple of years. But this man was able to save money and cut costs. Some of you argue here that he will be the most, that he will be the one to get Nigeria out of the woods. But also some of you watching me, I can read from the comment section and saying, no, if he comes and wants to save money for Nigeria, they'll be impeaching because we have thieves. Some of you are saying, if he wants to save money for Nigeria, Nigerians will riot because they don't want to save money. Everybody wants to live in a borrowed room. Now we are now in trouble. We don't know. Chris George says, Maz, I need to invite. If you can invite him now, I need to invite the Minister of Science and Technology. Minister of Science. Commissioner. There is no commissioner yet until the House approves the commissionership for Soludo. There is no commissioner yet. There is no commissioner in Anambra State. So people, the time to vote is now. Let us vote. Now your votes will be shown on the screen. Who amongst these people you want to vote? So let's do a transparent INEC. This election will not be rigged. So the time to vote and cast your vote is now. If you wish to talk about it, APC should change Tinubu. He is corrupt. Well, I didn't give him the bullion van. So those that gave him bullion van should know if he's corrupt or not. Rufus Ford TV says P2B. So P2B one. Go on, let's the vote continue. Smash the like button. Make it go wild. Smash it. It's yes, intentionally yes. He says, also said, the lightning is too poor. He said, your shadow. No. Or if I'll the shadow on my screen. How can I have the shadow on your screen? The thing leave my screen, shadow you. The lightning is too poor. That is intended because it's dark. I want you to be, all these men that have that don't have bed in their houses, they have only foam, and they have blue light. Ladies, listen, they invite you to their house. Run, they are very dangerous because they will say, you can have a seat. Where? Have a seat where? In the bed already, in the other room. Run. So let's go back and take our votes. We have Peter Obi. Who else? Dreamer Boy. We have Sowore. We have Moghalu. We have Peter Obi again. Rufus says if PDP do any mago, we bundle him to another party and vote him. You get rope. It has to be more OC, okay? $2 million house for where? Who does that when we are living in double and debt life? Well, Hakim, people have $2 million house. I mean, come on. It's not because the mortgage sector crashed some time ago. People do have really houses that are worth. Sometimes these houses, when they bought it, it wasn't worth 2 million. Depending on the neighborhood, you can buy a property of 940. I know someone in Florida, a house that he bought, I think about after the 2018. That time he was a colleague in the UK actually. After 2008 financial crisis, he actually bought this property cash, $169,000. But today that property is nearing close to $1 million. So it depends. And I know people who bought properties in London, and they are mortgaged. If you go back now and look at properties in 2008, 2009, they were sold for 185 in England. Some of them are above £500,000. £500,000 is maybe, give or take, $700,000. You see, too far. So unless you are at the outskirts. Peter Obi 101. Wow. Martin Sell, Chris Ozemena, Peter Obi. Ifeanyi done. All of you, make una no rig this election, no. Make una vote for, make una mercy for others. If this is INEC election, no, that means Jega, no, not Jega, Olubebe will be sitting in the front there saying, we no agree, we no agree. The Olubebe. He was trying to warn Nigeria, to save Nigeria. People called him name that time. But now when you watch back that video, you'll be saying, I wish I've joined this man when he was shouting. But again, maybe he was in the spirit because he's a deacon in the church. Okay? Eagle King. Wow, all of you. Kilo happen. Make una dey live for other people. Now how can Mazi salute you? I'm from Umezi, Sofia. watching from Beijing, China. Ah, okay. No. Ni hao, ni hao. Moghalu, yeah, Moghalu has a couple of votes. There is no need saving money, often devalued. No, totally, Hakim, totally wrong. I 2,000,000% disagree with you. So you're telling me, Hakim, you don't have stocks. You're telling me you don't have investment. You don't invest in bonds. It's not savings. It's not savings. So Peter Obi had this money invested. Some of them high yielding investments that they were tied down. Let me tell us actually what happened. Some of this money are still tied down because the Anambra state government cannot take it out even when they want to. But what they've done is they've gone, assuming we have $50 million. We know this $50 million is here, go lose. Because now it has probably grown up to maybe 68, 70 million. You can now go against that 50, 70 million, go and borrow, use that as collateral to borrow. That's actually what happened in Anambra State. I tell you that. You can tweet that. Quote me on that. I know what I'm saying. Quote me on that one. I tell you. So I disagree with you if you say that it does not make. Now look, you are in an environment that, yes, you can, look, some of these things that we've used, infrastructure is good, but bear in mind, some of these things are non-interest yielding infrastructure. Many of you in the diaspora are selling your properties you have in Nigeria because you've beginning to realize that actually it's not yielding you much. If you live in the UK or maybe in places in Europe, you buy property there, you've got your insurance, you're sure nothing will happen. But here in Nigeria, things happen, your property goes kaput, insurance begin to argue with you, you probably lose almost everything. So at the end of the day, it's investment, in my view. Any man that calls himself a man must have some backup investment. You can't just a state just walking around naked with 300 million. Now, come on. 300 million where these people, where they do Odogu or whatever, they take buy convoy. A state. I beg. Let's talk about that to Beacon. I don't know why meaning. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala went far as setting up the sovereign wealth fund. You see, and that is the thing, what some of us don't understand is, imagine today, in today's world, you have children. If you're watching me, you have children, you don't have any form of savings for your children. Oga, madam, you are not getting it right. You must have something you bequeath to your children. Even if it's something you're putting aside that when they get to university, they will use it to pay their school fees. Those investments left by Peter Obi were for the future generations, not something made for all the Okokes and the Okafors now to begin to consume. The other day, I made allusion and made comparison to Norway, and people are saying, no, you can't compare it to Norway. How can you cannot be comparing to yourself because you're not making progress. You're retrogressing every year. The only nation I know in the surface of earth that you leave Nigeria today, go anywhere in the world, come back 2 weeks later. Nigeria is better 2 weeks ago than what you met today. Which nation does that? Where can you see that such retrogression? So the vote continues. Onyenima, I feel you. I see what you're saying. The vote continues. Stella Chikelu says it's Peter Obi. It appears Peter Obi is going to beat them if this were to be the election. Voting for either PDP or APC will give you the same result. Well, some people would agree. It depends on the individual. And a good example is Governor Dave Umahi won under PDP. He worked when I say he worked excellently well. You see road. He was yabbing wicked the other day. He said he cannot, what did he say? He said he cannot even speak to Wike. That Wike commissions 3-kilometer roads, 2-kilometer road, that he should come to Ebony, that he commissions 35-kilometer roads. And his own road, though, is not asphalt. His own road, you know the way you do decking, rod with cement. Generations to come. Generations to come. It's very, very important. If you go to Anambra State, there was a road. Let me tell us this story. There was a road. Those of you who know Ekulobe very well, from Agwata local government, you head into Ezinifte. There was a road flagged off by Peter Obi, I think about 780 million, handed over to Obiano. Obiano came in, the road was stopped. Eventually, many of us shouted to a point that they came back on site. The road was done towards the prison, where at the boundary between Ezinifite and the Ekulobe. The road, I think, was finished on a Wednesday. It rained on a Saturday. Three days. Daya, Biu, Uku, Na, Mbo, Eto, Otu, Abo, Ato, Eins, Zwei, Drei, 1, 2, 3, 3 days. Rain fell, washed the asphalt as if na plate the thing just wash. In my state of Anambra, that's the quality of the road. But again, thank God, the contractors were still around, they were still doing the sites, blah, blah, blah. They had to quickly come back and fix it. But that the road was washed out is what, should worry everybody. Imagine if those roads were done in a way that even if in the next 30 years, most of the autobahns, most of the highways you drive, M25, I'll tell you something. When you drive, let's say you're driving from, I don't know, wherever, you're on M25, let's say you're going to Canterbury. Sometimes when you drive, you hear on the road. Those are demarcations of cement. Cement. What they do is sometimes they will now use asphalt on top of it to layer it just to make it smooth. Once, after a while, they will come and scrape out the asphalt. The cement base is still there. It's not, by mere construction. It's just that sometimes we like China things. If it's possible, there is one I saw one day. I said, Uheme Road. You know how they were constructing the road? They'll use a black substance. When they do this red topsoil, do red, rama the thing, they will spray black stuff, black coat or bitumen or whatever it's called. Then sprinkle some chippings on it. That's road construction, Imo style, Okorocha style. Pray that rain never come. All those roads. We know how them, we know how they constructed roads in Imo State, that the roads, you can construct a bridge without any reinforcing beam. Who does that? Was someone sent to jail? No. Big men. Was someone punished? No. Not them. Could that have led to loss of life? Well, if you die, who don't die, don't die. Nigeria. Emalonia, man. So the vote continues. Do we need to call results? So many, Peter Obi. Congratulations on your YouTube plug. Thank you very much for milestone accomplishments. Hakim, thank you very much. You get sharp eye. Sowore is coming up. Sowore is coming up. Peter Obi, some of you are Motown MT. Welcome back. Long time. Longest time, man. Chris George, I'm voting for Peter Obi. Annie, if you sell in London, you have to buy elsewhere for even more money. Come again? For even more money or for even less money? I don't get it. If you sell in London because you make more money now, so you can go elsewhere and buy for cash. And I know people, they sell in London, they divide the money into three, use one, go Canada, go buy cash. These pounds, pounds are the heaviest money on this earth. So that's why people where they this London, they know they pay tight. This is end of the month to see them. Apart from only name, other ones now one for now know the light they shine for now. So that's why I made sure you're not going to be looking at my face, so that the light will be doing you like this. Not every time you'll be looking at my face. I don't have PVC card, but I must go and get one. Listen, go and get your PVC. Even if you don't use it for ID. Even if we're going to do referendum, we must vote. So anyhow, if anybody is telling you don't go and get your PVC, it's useless, I say na lie, go get your PVC. Because let me tell you, let's say now they say, okay, they give you referendum, I mean a referendum they give you, whichever one they do, and they say come and vote. Don't you think that all these people that don't want you, that have been planning to rig the election, myself, will make sure that you don't get that PVC to go and vote for the referendum? So first of all, go and get it. Keep it in your pillow. If you like, go and keep it in the back of your shrine. It is plastic, nothing will happen to it. But first of all, go and get it. Yeah? Go and get it. So, man, all of you, wow, now, Peter Obi is the only remaining politician in Nigeria that still has the trust of ordinary Nigerians. If all we queue up behind him, okay, seems people have been sucked to go with Peter Obi. Is a woman that can't overturn the party to give you what you want. Well, I don't know. Peter Obi more, Kinsley Moghalu, Peter Obi, Brave Orji, Uche M, Peter Obi, Njenje Media TV based on Akuluo. Okay, based on Akuluo. Okay. But Akuluo, no, bro, no, can destroy. Maka ihe anyị na-eme na onwezi akụ n'elu ụlọ, to be honest with you. Nobody is building anything again. Everybody's hanging. Because there is no need to build something that, I saw when there is this Microsoft office, very fantastic, good-looking office in Lagos. And when I read comments that many of you are saying, why is Microsoft building office in Lagos? No, not in the... I said, they can't build it in the Niger Delta. They can't build it in the Southeast. Why? If you have to be truthful to yourself, self-inflicted. No international company would want to invest in an environment where they could wake up, their staffs are kidnapped, where people might get angry and come and burn their assets. It's not done. They don't invest out of emotion like you and I. They don't say, oh, yeah, Akuluo, no, because Namboni, but let's go and invest on. No. They might say, give us the security report of this area in the last 10 years. Give us 5 years. Give us 2 years. They will check out. They will look at pattern. I was shocked before the madness happening in the Southeast started. I was shocked when I saw one international organization, and I won't mention their name, when they sent me their report on Southeast. Sometimes when I read that report today, I am alarmed. The level of detail of information they had. And I'm like, if this private organization could have this level of information, what is government doing? Because they knew that involved, reason why they sent me that was actually, I was querying them why they closed their office in Enugu and left. And I was sent that document. I shook my head. I never knew things would eventually get to where it was now, where it is now. But looking at that report again, I think they knew somewhat that something terrible was brewing. But the rest, they say, is history. Let's come back to our votes again, people. So why is it? So hold on, let me ask you, why is no one voting for Tinubu or Atiku? Why is no one voting for Tinubu? What is wrong with you people? Why is no one? Mazi, I thought it was just saving the money. No. Sorry. No. The monies were not saved, my brother. They were not. Okay, let me show us something. I hope this one will work. Because I don't want us to be, this is not a beer parlor gossip. Let me share with us this document that I've been wanting to. While I'm trying to, where is this document? Okay. Let me share this document with us, just to buttress what I'm saying. Because this is not about me saying it or anybody saying it. This is about what the state government, Anambra state government themselves, on their own, nobody forced them. This is what was made available. It leaked. I don't care. All I care this information has become knowledge. And if it's in public, if it becomes a public information, we are at liberty to use it, to dice it, to analyze it, dissect it, however we wish to. So let me get this one for all of us to see. Okay. So let me see if I can bring in my, okay, let me see if I can bring it in. Let me share my screen. Okay. Now, people, I deal with data, not emotion. Okay. I deal with data. Forget your emotion, please. Don't blackmail me. Can you see me anywhere? Have I gone hiding? Kilo happen. So can you see my screen, people? Hold on. I'm just trying to, okay. So let's make it big. Can we see that? I want us to read something here. No, it's blurred now. Okay. If you can see it. Now, I want us to look here. This is Afri Invest. Right? And it says here, sale of selected Eurobond security decide with Access Bank. You can see the details there. The total sales and the proceed. Here, let me highlight it. You can see $18.092.889 million. Sale of the proceed. Which day was this thing sold? This was a bond that was yielding 10.5% as at 19th October 2021 in West Bank. So people, we need to understand this, that when the former governor says he saved money, it's not like putting money in the bank, just leaving it. No, these were investments. Okay, here, total, see, look, this is an Afri Invest. In this Afri Invest, the Afri Invest now, they sold Infidelity Bank 11.6 million. In Access Bank, 80.0.2 million. Combined sale, 25.74 million. People, when we talk about million in dollar, so my telephone doesn't have kwashiorkor. Let us do this math. 29,749,311. That is 29 million. Let us say, for argument's sake, we sold them at 500 per dollar. That means times 500. We are looking at 14.874 billion. So when they tell you we don't have money, ask them who has this one that we are selling or we sold. That is the one we're talking about, 18th of October. Now let us look at this one. I say my own, I deal with data, I deal with facts, not emotions. Here, again, let me look at the date. Which date again? Anyway, here we sold a total between assets again. In dollar value, we sold 11 million and 19 million. 31. So add $31 million to $29 million. How much is he giving us? Huh? Look at this one. I think this is one of the letters in 2017. So if we say these things are invested in high yielding either bonds or investments, be rest assured that that is what it is. Here in 2017, it says, regarding remittance of converted Eurobond yield to Anambra State government account. Now, the yield that before now, the way it works is when this thing yields immediately, it gets reinvested. It's called compound reinvestment. If you had 10 million pounds or dollars, it gets to 10.5 million pounds dollars. The same money, the same whole money is reinvested immediately. But here, suddenly, we are now converting the yields. So we're not even investing, we're not even adding more money to build up that for future generation. We are not only going, we started in 2017 by poking it, as Museveni says, is the if you poke it your hands in the anus of a lion. So we started by poking our hands in the anus of a lion. From poking, we got to Pokoripo. You see? See the reason why we are where we are? In the words of what's it called? Osinbajo. You see the reason why we are where we are? And I show you guys these things. These documents are there. Oh, Peter Obi, Gaspin 360. Thank you very much. Video game controller. Jump up and down. Excited. Thank you very much. I wish I understood I don't play a game. My son does. Every time he's Now they do like convergence, secret meeting, put their earphone every time. I said, how can you make money playing this game? That is one that is interesting me. You know, I'm Igbo man. Every time my eye they do like this, no money. Have you? God, though, I beg all those people where they say we Igbo people will like money. No, give them, give me. So give me. Gaspia 360. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you. Say Peter Bio, all of you, Mazi, on this retrogression. I agree. Well, whatever you call it, I don't know. I'm just taking. No, David is working. I disagree with you. Ebony State is peripheral. The North doesn't care about it. Being president of Nigeria is quite a different matter. Well, it is peripheral, but human beings have governed the Ebony. We had Sam Egu, right? Before, we had 2 governors before mine. And sorry, but he had beat all of them, both of them together, beat them on infrastructure. Honestly, it's, Anambra, my state has airport. I hope we'll finish with the editing of the Ebony State Airport by next week. We'll publish it. You see what an airport looks like. My state has an airport. I am so proud of Anambra State Airport runway. But that airport terminal looks like Giabana. It's like a bus terminal. When you fly, if you go to Heathrow, where they have cargo section, and they do like a warehouse. To airport now, somebody look himself, you go the hungry. There are times, because I'm a frequent flyer, at times I want to spend time at the airport. You have a different Dubai airport. I want to come in. I have a flight. I want to come in 4 hours ahead of time to, allow me go round. It's just like tourism. Go round the airport, enjoy. Sometimes waiting at how they look at themselves, I say, anyway, make I no talk, because I know there are people now, when I talk, some of you can't talk here. You come in bus and start disturbing. Why did you say that our airport looks like this? Wouldn't I say my mind again? Wouldn't I say my mind again? That our airport, I like the ambience at the Ebony State Airport more than ours. Enugu State don't even have an airport. Enugu State has and the new terminal. Enugu State, anyway, yeah, we have, it works. Yeah, even as small as it is, they can't even maintain it. They say they put wash hand, whatever. They say it's COVID compliant. The day I went in there, testing it, you put your hand, soap dispenser, he will be looking at you. You do like this, you do like this, you do like this, he'll be looking at you. Wash your hand. Eventually, you press the thing. You're trying to avoid COVID, you go press it. Soap comes out. You go make you wash them. No water is running. You call who is the person on duty. He comes in. He does like this. He does like this. Oh, he said he was working this morning and so, but he has broken. You want to come out of the airport. You see one woman standing at the door with a tissue paper begging money in 21st century, for Christ's sake. Trolley. They have a gang, a cult dealing with trolley. No, you cannot, no matter how civil you want to be, you must pay them. You must pay people. You can't take your trolley. Why must everything be too difficult? Though it's not only in Enugu, it's only in Abuja that I've seen you can come out, nobody speaks to you, deal with your trolley. The Abuja International, not the Abuja local. Abuja International, you take your trolley. The only place you can see people act like human beings, maybe because all the politicians and the polluters, maybe because they use the airport. That's why it happens. I don't know. Anyway, people, the result of the Don Anthony Belgium. I don't know what's happened. Mazi, all major roads in California are built with roads and cement. Of course, exactly. And that's what, honestly, irrespective of what people say, you see, my own is, if you've watched out, when I talk about governors in the Southeast, I rarely talk about Ibaz or Imo State. You know why? Because there is nothing to talk about. The only thing I can talk, I have many people from Abia State that are my friends. In order not to offend anybody, because it's just nothing. One told me the other day, man, I said, when were you going to come to Abia? And so I said, if I come to Abia, what am I going to see? To see that water is swallowing my mother, my siblings. Ebonyi is completing the same ode Ebonyi that Abia State has 17% derivation they get. Ebonyi doesn't. Yet Ebonyi is doing 17 flyovers, at least a kilometer, 17 flyovers. And your governor is telling us we need an airport. With his eye open, we need an airport. Not only that they need an airport, he tells you, bridge or Basaragi. Monday enweghị motor, Sikaro Bridge. Can you imagine the mentality? Those who doesn't have car, just everybody is talking about bridge, flyover. How did he say? He took a bridge. Well, I can't remember how he said it. But isn't funny? He has a counterpart. Just common at the junction where in between Aba to Port Harcourt, where the entrance there, when we were using that road, when you land in Port Harcourt, when the road was good, you come there, you might stay 3 hours because of just do one flyover. Everybody that's going into Aba will use down. Anybody that's just going from Port Harcourt, you just come, you climb, you go. That's how people with sense do. But 8 years, one flyover, the governor can, and you still asking me why don't you talk about Abia State? There is nothing to talk in Abia State. Glorify the village. Come to Omaha. Where is it? You look at the government house, myself, you see, people are incompetent that they can't even put the environment very clean in front of government house. Rail track. When Amechi said, we are doing Enugu, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I went there to see if it is true or is a lie. People were shitting. All the Okada drivers, all the Keke drivers, when they park their distance, they go rail track, they will stand on the metal, put the anyash at the distance. The metal, the rail track will elevate their bomb. They will be there to do their business. And that's what you want me to talk about. Talk about how? In front of government house. Enugu. We've seen Emena, what happens there. What is it to do to talk about my own state? Road. All the roads, yes. The last government probably built very, very small, minute road network in the central and the south. Maintain road, if your two predecessors built, it's an impossibility. Anyway, now we have a new beginning. Oga Soludo, if you think now the same hand, where would they take the same mount, where would they take the praise small picking? Would they take the tell and say where you want touch? Now in Mama Brokos, we will use Koboko. This will not be say drama or baritone. We must do something. People, vote never finished. If election is today, according to your vote, Atiku has no score. Now, so this platform no like Atiku reach. Now, so this platform. Thank you very much for the super chat, my good friend. Heathrow Cargo Terminal 4, man. Bus terminals in Eastern Europe, or not better Europe. There is difference between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. Bus terminal. And many of you have noticed, if you travel a lot, you will find out that even Europe don't enter menopause. Because Asia, within Asia, they build. Europe, now when they come, they do Europe, too much book. Heathrow runway number waiting, whether second runway or whatever they were talking about in Heathrow. To build runway, Oyibo committee. So they say some ants need to be relocated. Ants. We need to work, we need to relocate them. Endangered species. And therefore, some people will come protest. Work will stop. Our own. Men. I saw one now. Let me not, before they say I've started trouble again. I saw one at Mpologu Road. Men, you think they have gray matters in between their skulls. On red sand, somebody with thing will just take asphalt, put on red sand, climb it. I've done 2 kilometer road, 2 kilometer road. When rain comes, the same way, rain will just at the bottom of that thing will just shift it. Just like, I beg, shift, make I pass. That's what rain does to it. And everybody, fanfare, you know the shame. River State, Wike commissions commissions bridge. You invite this person to come. Ebony State, he doesn't invite anybody. We are not blind. Come, you see it. We don't need to be making this thing. I was arguing with them the last time I went there. I said, no, this shopping mall can't be ready for us. They said, no. The day I went to, I think, was it to look at the school of midwifery and whatever. Man, I look at structure, I say, wow, where this man, they get this money? Again, I say, my own is, I stick with facts. I say the things. I don't know, they tell me. Is it not your governor that went to Lagos? He said he went to Ocean. And he saw, and he was thinking, if Father Christmas was selling ice cream, I say, oh, God, now so you do you rich. Father Christmas, they sell ice cream. Oh, God, now so you do you rich. See, don't say I told you. The same Abia people that will be here making mouth. You'll be the same person when they want to go to Senate, you return them. The same Ode where they hold you, you don't hold them until you decide to liberate yourself. Until you decide not to start, vote others. They have nothing to offer. They have not offered you anything. They keep going back, offering nothing. Law, they don't make. Constituency project. When it reach to do palliative, they won't use the palliative for party. What a wicked set of human beings we have. Anyway, at the end of the day, we are here. We've done the analysis. We told you the candidates. If you don't get your PVC, time to flog them with your PVC don't come. It's not by mouth. You run it not by mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Even if you say you want to sit at home, go get your PVC. Even if anything, because if you reach for referendum, now vote if you're an election, no. No matter how you dice it, if nothing, even for nothing, you don't get driver's license, you are driving keke like myself, so we don't need a driver's license. So what do? Get your PVC. Where they give you, show my ID. This is my ID. Imagine where we protest with PVC, raising it up, saying, when I say, when I no agree for, we no agree, nah, this one will take, all of them will get sense by force, because now this one now beavers. I'm not saying, from the experiences we have in Anambra, if we confirm same in Ekiti and Osun, I think we will be fair to say if we confront them with these two upcoming elections, we could go as far as actually saying, we can now use PVC to wipe their brain, to flog them. Every woman watching, all those people, all those men that voted against your bill to give women some rights and equal privileges. If you allow any of them to come back, ode on you. You see, people will come online and be saying, hey, yet the same people to tell you, because I mean, so these are things you can't run away from. When the same law says, okay, can we vote for referendum? Nobody voted for it. Everybody ran away. Now, can we begin to ask and say, if we want to demand that we have referendum as part of our constitution, that by 2023, if you do not agree to these principles laid down, can we have a change of strategy? No vote for you. If you want to vote for somebody, don't take money. Vote for that person holding responsible. Look at Soludo now. He didn't give anybody money. Even the mama that was given money in, I think, is it Obunika or where, that said, no, we don't want your money. From nowhere, the governor gave him 1 million, and she was taken care of. And not only that, she proved her point. And those that said, sit at home, or don't vote, or suddenly everybody is hiding, talking their tails. But it's fine, as long as there was no violence. It's your right, it's your prerogative. But at least you can see that those that came out, no matter how minute they were, that they've made their choice and they are happy with their choice. And suddenly, you watching me, you that didn't vote, you that said everyone talking about vote is a saboteur, is this, is the other one. Yes, you didn't vote. No hard feelings. I still love you with all my heart. But you can see that the effigy and the overflow of joy coming from the election is also affecting you. So PVC, please, no matter what, go grab your PVC. My own is there. You know the thing I did, my own polling unit. Whether we sit at home, we no sit at home, na leg I go take waka in front of just 5 minutes from my house. So we just look that day, we will go there, we go vote. We'll flog them. I look your face, Chancellor. I've been a councillor. I say I no go vote. Maybe Mazi, make I go contest for councillor myself. If na independent candidate, I go try. Whether all these people where they watch me, they will say, because seriously, we got to start doing something. Even if it means our small routes, do our small routes. Not let's everybody go home. Go home. Forget this nonsense, useless habit. Let's go home. Just like Professor Soludo is saying, fix your small, granular level. We can aggregate them. They all come up. Eventually, at some point. He said we free to call. Yes, now you are free to call. Make your call. Yes, you're free to call. Okay, sorry, I've missed one call. So you can call back again. PVC is mandatory. I hope. And people, one other thing I want to tell us is, do not leave it late. Politicians, especially those in some areas that that they want to suppress your vote. Remember the other time they said they would throw you into lagoon, and suddenly when you want to go and collect your PVC, based on your name, your PVC will disappear. See, you no longer have PVC. So if it's possible to go before time when they are not looking, Yeah, good evening. Who am I speaking to?
This is Rufus. Mazi, good day.
Yeah, good day. Kekime. Go ahead.
You know, in our wallet. Yeah. So what you're saying is 1,000% true. So you can't say anything about Abia State because that's a mere glorified, what's it called, city. You know, do I say mere glorified?
No, how can you call Abia State a city? It's not, in fact, there is nothing, absolutely nothing. Kilo happen. You're reconnecting. I don't know what happened, people. So, like I said, I mean, what he just said is correct. There is nothing to talk about Abia State. Abia State is just. Let's try again. Let me call him back.
Hello?
Yes, you're back now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is Abia State is a mere glorified city, you know, where an illiterate is the governor and claiming to be PhD holder. Look at 8 years, nothing. If you go to that city looks like a refuse dump from A to Z. Nothing is moving on. A lot of people are running away from the city. Development is not going on. Money is not coming into the city. You know, that is just the problem over there. So, and David Omar is doing wonders. When it comes to Wike is just talking too much. He talks too much. With the amount of money that he's getting in River State, he should be comparing himself to Lagos. He's always there grooming his hallelujah boys to be, you know, attacking people on, what's it called, on channels and all that, insulting like women, which is not necessary. It should be put your mouth where, you know, put your, how did they say that? You know, it's not about when you build one small flyover, you call channels, or use 10 billion to do the, you know, and that's not what we want. Somebody like to be here, to be business. I think people who work and get paid are not Dorime without working. It does not work that way.
Now, please, which one? We are old people. Which one is Dorime?
Dorime is people expect to make money, you know, without working. That's what I mean by that.
Yahoo.
Yes, and in Nigeria. People believe if you're in office, you'll be driving 20 cars, convoy, and all that. You see somebody that has not even flown a commercial plane before, and when he becomes a local government chairman and all that, he starts flying private jets, start trying to get the house.
He will charter plane commercial.
Yes, that's what I mean. He starts flying, private jets and all that money, like you know. And the problem is this: his hallelujah boys will be thanking him, you know, glorifying him. At the end of the day, when EFCC comes after him, all the hallelujah boys will run away. The same thing that is going on with Obiano today. You know.
Well, that one is neither here nor there. I think he is innocent until proven otherwise. So I think that's the way I would.
Yeah, and Mazi, one more thing. When you each time you see that airport is a Anambra airport is a Dangote refinery. Dangote trailer park. You can't call that thing. You know, you are comparing those ones with that airport to the ones in Dubai. No, you compare it with the one in South Africa.
No.
Just try to compare
No. In being fair in analysis, I will say the following. In being fair, no matter how you see the ex-government, one thing you cannot never take away from is that he is the first person that built an airport in Anambra State. You cannot take it away from him. Whether the airport or now only have plane the land, you can't take it away from him. Right? Hold on. No, hold on. Now, but when you want to talk about, you know, how we could have done it, and maybe, you know, the amount, nobody has told me the exact amount, but I say whether they like or not, It would only take time. We will eventually find out how much they take, because the more days go by, the more I'm becoming more suspicious why they hide and seek. But we won't give up. We will eventually find out how much of our money went into that airport.
Mazi, I'm not trying to argue with you on who, but I think we need to have some type of standard. When somebody is trying to build something, it's like in Nigeria, some people will tell you, oh, Jesus Carlo tried in building road. And I tell them, he's the architect of our problem in our state. You understand? If he needed to build an airport, let him build a world-class airport that is calling international airport. Go to South Africa. South African airports are like world-class. What do that thing there is...
South Africa is on a different league. Bear in mind, South Africa, if not for Africans, is actually almost like an European country, actually.
Yes, even there are some part of Europe. There is some part of Europe that South Africa is way better than.
Sure.
Way cleaner, everything.
Sure.
But,
the real South Africa, not where this OG,
Like I said, Maz, I just came out of work because your program, I like getting involved. I just came out. So finally, let everybody go and get their PVC. If P2B is not elected or selected, whatever, by the Amagomago way, they throw him out of PDP. We bundle him and put him in another party and vote him in. We can't continue like this. We want to come back home and be able to go to each and every one of any part of Nigeria that we want to go to, or so that things can change, so that the living health. We don't have hospitals. Roads are bad. Nothing is going on. People are just looting money, looting. Very soon the money will finish and people will start eating each other.
I see the passion. Thank you very much for your course. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. So people, thank you very much for making this. Oh, I think, geez, a couple of us called before. Someone just called now. Let me quickly. No, sorry, not this one. I think CJ, if you may speak, let's quickly take that before I call it a day. I will be ending the stream very soon. But before I do, let's quickly listen to the argument I've made before. Let's quickly listen to how Governor Dave Umahi responded to Wike.
The one telling me, you heard him in a channel, boasting that is behind a main man that depends on the breath of God. I pity illiteracy. Say shame. You are boasting to remove another governor. What qualifies you? Just because you are packing money that is public fund. Not intellectual material, but just packing money from public funds, and you are boasting about it. Otherwise, whom were you? I became a billionaire at the age of 25. I've worked all my life, and I've asked him to come for public debate. I do not commission 3.4 kilometer road. I commission 35 kilometer roads. I commission twin flyovers running to 1 kilometer. I commission mega projects with little resources. So, if he says he has done well and there is Mr. This or that, let him come for public debate with me. Let me know, let's start with our childhood.
I think I would, this is the type of rough fight that I want to get involved with. Oga, I have all the fight. I'm throwing this challenge to all of you. Let me host the fight. I wouldn't wear any iron glove. I won't, what I would do is that I won't be separating fight, and I will make sure that your seats are very close in case if you want to have a repeat of Oka round 2. But this one might be a Ebonyi versus Rivers. We'll see how it goes. On a very serious note, that we actually know. I like the challenge. You commission 3.5 kilometers of road, but he commissions 35. That is 10x times 10. So, Mr. Kola, who am I speaking to?
Hello, my name
is CJ calling from California.
Yeah, CJ, good evening. What's your contribution?
Yeah, good evening. I just want to commend you on the great job you're doing. I would say all of those men who are actually interested in running for office in Nigeria are qualified to run, but the question is, are they competent? Which one of them is competent to handle the affairs of Nigeria? You know, a situation whereby someone like Mike and what's his name, Dave Umahi, would like challenge themselves and talk about the number of roads they have.
Yeah, but it's good now. It's good. Let them challenge themselves. In America, you know, challenges are thrown as well. So let them.
Yeah. I understand that, but I
it's
think
it's actually peer review. So let them go ahead and challenge themselves.
It is good, but I think this should be shameful. Like, it's actually a very big shame that these governors would come out to like boast about roads, like the number of roads they've constructed.
Roads actually what, you know, city councils or counties do. It's not actually has to do with any central. You know, it has virtually nothing. Sorry, your call dropped. You know, these roads sometimes it's just that things don't work. But these are things that ought to be done by local governments. You know, but hey, here in Nigeria, our politics is something probably beyond us that we will never somewhat comprehend or somewhat understand. I think I have a caller from is that Spain? 5-3.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Bazi.
Yeah, who am I speaking to?
My name is Henry.
Okay, where are you calling from, Henry?
I'm calling from Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland, yeah.
Ireland, Nenuani.
Republic of Ireland.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, make your contributions quick. I say go ahead and make your contribution quick.
Okay, what I want to say, I want the Igbo, our Igbo people, let the Igbo to come together and let it be one candidate we present. If it's Peter Obi, wish everybody.
No, but how can it be one candidate? Anyway, people, I don't understand what's happening, but I don't think it's, you know, it will be right to say that we will present one candidate. I don't subscribe to that. You know, reason being, you don't have only one political party. And because you don't have only one political party, then people should be allowed to let Nigerians make that decision. I would say what Igbo should concern themselves with is putting their right foot forward. If they put their right foot forward, then let that decision be made. My argument had always been, when people say, "Oh, but the others, did they give their best?" I say, "Well, because my neighbor's son is a criminal, is an armed robber, doesn't mean I must ensure that my own son is also an armed robber because my neighbor's son is an armed robber." You do your best and hope for the best. On that note, people, I will say thank you very much for being part of this program. That is the much I can take. It is now after 12. I need to go to the other room. You know what I mean? People, you guys have been awesome. Thank you very much. I am still Mazes, okay? And thank you so much for being part of this. I am indeed still Happiness More.
All right. Have you voted?
I'm voted, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm Happiness, I'm voted, yeah.
Tell me your feeling after voting today.
Yeah, after voting, I'm feeling okay. What I want, I get it on the result. I'm getting the party I want is the one going on. Thank you for that.
What are you expecting from these people you voted?
I'm voted, they can do what you want, and then when they want, what they want, inshallah.